Good evening. Welcome along. Another edition of the Sunday Bunch. Apologies for not being last week. It was my fault. I went missing in action. But we're back again and we are live, which means you can join us via the live chat. On the show with us tonight, we've got Terry Lee and Gary. Terry, how's your day been?
Yeah, tiring day after, just a long week at work. Nice relaxing day yesterday, listening to the game, watching part of the game, and really happy with that point.
Good. Lee, what's the weather like in Spain?
Crap, mate. It's absolutely terrible. As you know, I wasn't going to be on tonight, Philly, but the weather was terrible, so knocked on the head the old event that was in Bilbao and just stayed at home, watched a film with the kids, and here I am now, happy to talk. Sunderland FC.
Well, that's good. 20 degrees, bright sunshine here. So there you go. And now we're joined by Gary. Gary is back with us. Gary, how's your day been?
It's been all right. Funny time of year, isn't it? All this Christmas carry on. I never get used to it.
Tell us about it. Just very quickly, before we go any further, we are trying something new tonight as well. We're actually we're streaming live simultaneously to the Facebook page. That's the SCFC Fan TV Facebook page. If it's working, I don't know it's working, but hopefully, fingers crossed it is. And we are sponsored by Wolf Competitions. They are our channel sponsors for the season. So a massive, big thank you to them. I want to start, like we say, apologies for last week. We should have come on. I went out in town with our lass, got absolutely proper drunk, throwing up on Monday and everything. I'm not a big drinker, but so I do quickly want to touch on it because we should have done this last week. But Sunderland won, visitors 0. Gary, how did you celebrate?
With a long drive back to Yorkshire, but with a big smile on my face. I couldn't really get blottoed, but I did have a walk through town. I had a quick one before I set off, and great atmosphere just walking through the town, going back over the bridge and stuff. Although I say that, Philly, I had a fairly quiet night Sunday, but I've spent a lot of time the rest of the week doing one of my favourite hobbies, and that's winding up mags. I know it's easy, but I do enjoy it.
Right. Yeah, I mean, the town was brilliant. I want to say thanks to everybody who came up as well and said hello and said they enjoyed the show and all that. So I appreciate that. Just very quickly on the chat before I pass this round, SGA 3,013 points to go. Yeah, that's the way we should be thinking. I keep winding our lass up saying, "Where's my passport?" She says, "You're not going to Europe. And if you do go to Europe, I'm going to get a divorce." So I've been on to a solicitor this afternoon. David Joblin, good evening. Tony Lee there. All right, Monkey in the team. Mickey Stewart there. Emma is our very own Emma's on there as well. Terry, how did you celebrate last week? Beating the visitors? Better if you put your mic on. That way we can hear what you're saying. Still better if you put your mic on.
Well, just had a few. Where have I gone? Can you see us?
I can see you, unfortunately. Yeah. Yes, we can, Terry.
Oh, yeah. Obviously, I'm still drunk. Now, I had a couple of beers after the game, just chilled out mainly, just really soaked up the win and let it sink in because I was absolutely over the moon with that, I was at work Monday, so I couldn't get too drunk like you when being off work. I'm a grafter. I've got to go to work on a Monday.
Well, I should have been out with Wolf, but I requested two days off because you've got to now. Because as you get our age, gone are the days where you could go out like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and still go to work on Monday morning and be fine. Now you go out one night, and it takes you about four days to recover from that. SJ, I hope Ballard is fit. He limped off yesterday.
Apparently it's a cramp, so it should be okay.
Right, that's good. Dan Wilk says Michael Bowers loves clean sheets. Yes, he does. Lee, where did you watch the game and how did you celebrate?
Yeah, so we rented a little place out in Bilbao. About 12 of us watched the match together, all wearing red and white shirts. No, it was brilliant, and celebrating was same as everyone else, getting quite drunk and phoning lots of people, including you, Philly. I don't remember I phoned you, and you out dancing with your missus.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I couldn't remember that. Yeah, I remember. I was. Yeah. Oh God. Yeah,
But no,
did you video call me? Did you video call me?
Yeah,
Oh God, honestly, it's terrible.
And I saw your dance moves as well.
Oh God. Yeah. Oh, it was a great night. Like I must admit. So yeah, it was good all round. Friend of the show, Taffy Mackham's on there. Fair play to Big Walt. 3 goals in his last 2 league games. Yeah, thanks to him for that. Dan Wilkes, Leicester tip to sign Sunderland's Eliza Mienda on loan. Right, just very quickly, because I don't want to linger too much on the game with the visitors. But your thoughts on the game, Terry? The game itself?
Yeah, I mean, I thought that I'm going to give credit to our team because a lot of people are saying, oh, Newcastle didn't turn up, they didn't play the normal football. We stopped Newcastle from playing, simple as. We had them exactly where we wanted them. They couldn't get at us. They were completely baffled, bamboozled. We had the high press, we had the high tempo, we won every second ball. We wanted it more than them, or easily wanted it more than them. We were just better on the day, simple as. No 2 ways about it. We were the better team.
Yeah, it's Gary, your thoughts on the game?
It was scruffy, wasn't it? Wasn't the best of games in terms of clear-cut chances. I think it was David Jones on Sky had said it's like the desperation derby because nobody wants to lose. So there's no quarter given really. But agree with Terry, for me, we were the best team. And I think all the analysts and TV and media agree it was a deserved win. Doesn't really matter how it comes about, but obviously we'll take the luck that came with the goal. But we deserved it. I've got no problem with that. I agree with Terry. The problem for them is we didn't let them play. I did think they'd get down the flanks more and attackers, but I think both Elanga and Gordon were poor. I don't think the front three gave them anything. And when they're taking off the likes of Tonali middle of the second half, I think that tells you everything about how Xhaka and Siddiqui were controlling the midfield with support from Lafay. So deserved win, and just nice to get that feeling for all the crap we've taken from them, that on the day we're not just competitive, but we were worthy winners.
I think as well, Mukiele and Ronaldo on the flanks were awesome, stopping their wingers brilliant.
Yeah, and of course, and I forgot it. I mean, it was my birthday as well, and normally you think, oh, it's my birthday. I totally forgot about my birthday because I was all wrapped up in playing the visitors, But I mean, what a birthday present. Lee, your thoughts on the game?
Oh, I thought it was a professional performance, Philly. I mean, the players didn't get dragged into the occasion, and they didn't do anything silly. The discipline was there, the composure was there, and I thought the build-up the whole week from the club side as well was perfect, because in the past we maybe focused too much on the players, loads of interviews with them, but the club focused on the fans and hearing the fans' stories, and I think that kind of protected the players away from that, getting too much dragged into it, and I thought it was a brilliant performance, and we thoroughly deserved to win.
It was a terrible game of football. I mean, really. I mean, it was but it's one of them things. And we said all along, I'll take the worst game ever, and a scrappy 1-0 win. I'll do. It's about winning, Lee.
But Philly, the thing is that we played our way. That's the way we play. But they didn't play their way. They were scared. They didn't want to lose the game. So they played it more defensively. We just played the way that we normally play, and we managed to get the win. That's the way it is. Yeah.
I do want to give a big shout out to the fans and the atmosphere in the ground. I said to my mate, I said that the visitors have been quiet, and I'm in the Premier Concourse, not too far away from them. And I said, they've been disappointing. And he said, no, they've sang. He said, we've been very loud. And I thought, that's probably right. But the atmosphere in there, second to none. And once again, the club delivered. And whoever organises the displays and the T4, easily the best one so far. Just excellent all round. So well done to all of us. Pat on our backs, wasn't it, Gary?
I disagree. It was a poor game, and I'm saying that because actually, and I'll base some of this on what other people are saying who watched it. It was at times blood and thunder, and when you got tackles getting cheered, and when you've got our players, getting in front of the opponent and fighting for every ball. I just love that. I love when we're like that and we're competitive and we're fighting. And I think a lot of other people watching, I'm talking third parties, people without an interest in the game, they love that whole derby thing, the crunching tackles and the way we got behind. So yeah, I'm not saying it was sleek football. It's not like watching, Barcelona in their prime, but I think a lot of people actually like that kind of game because it's taking you back a few years to the way English football used to be.
We need to go in and treat Leeds the same way, the same sort of passion that we did against Newcastle. Get into Leeds the same and get 3 points against them as well.
Well, with Leeds, I think Gary's talking about the days of the old Leeds with your Billy Bremner and your and all them lots, Norman Hunter and. But yeah, I fully get what you're saying, Gary. Crunching tackles and stuff like that. It's just that. I mean, was it 3 shots or something like that? All game or something, and it was just. And when you're my age, when you sat at 0-0, and you're thinking, I just want a goal. And then when you get 1 goal, you're thinking, oh, it's not good for me. I didn't enjoy it, but to be fair. I don't think I enjoy any of the derby games. I'm too, every time it goes in our box, I'm too nervous and all that. But the build up to it all and the occasion, you just kind of beat. But it was good. I enjoyed that week. Got myself on Sky. Terry, you was on Sky as well the day after, weren't you?
I did. I enjoyed it. Exactly what I said on there. As I'll say now that was probably the best cross of the game that Newcastle gave their striker, so he couldn't refuse it, could he?
Well, they were saying to me, says they forgot to tell him we've changed ends and all this, and but I would have watched you live when you was on, but I think my head was in the toilet at the same time as you was on, but yeah, it was all good. Anyway, let's get that out of the way because yesterday we went down to Brighton. So always going to be a tough one. I mean, for me, I'd said, people asking, score predictions. For me, I'd said I'd be well happy with a draw. Your thoughts on that, Lee? Would you happy with a draw? And would you have taken a draw before kick-off?
Yeah, Philly. I mean, on the podcast I predicted like a 2-2 draw for us. It wasn't even that. It was a 0-0. But I would have taken a draw because Brighton played 8 games at home this season, I think, and they'd only lost once. It's not an easy place to go. They're an established Premier League team. They've got some good players. And I think, given the fact that 4 of our starting 11 were missing, I think that getting a draw there was a very positive result.
Yeah, definitely. Just very quickly, back on the chat here. Craig Thurkel says the fans were unbelievable. Loudest I've ever heard. Stigi and Ronaldo were unbelievable. Where we at 6th in the table going into Christmas, still hard to believe. Definitely over the moon with that. Gary, would you have taken a draw before kickoff yesterday?
Yeah, I feel a bit like when we came away from Liverpool. You're sort of like thinking, well, I'll take a draw. And 6 months ago, I'd have definitely taken a draw. But then in the back of your mind, you're thinking, hang on a minute. It wouldn't have been, a crazy result if we'd won it because we've dominated for long periods. We've certainly been competitive, and the way we started in the first half, I thought we were very good. Very much take a draw. Again, I don't think we've got a great record at Brighton over the years. They're an established club. All the things that the other lads have said. So more than happy with the draw. But if I've got one concern, I don't want to sort of like be negative, but I thought we did tire the last 10 or 15 minutes, and I've seen that a bit more of late. So again, this thing about AFCON, I don't think it's just about the players we've lost. I think it's giving players at this time of year a bit of a rest, and we might have to think about that over the next couple of weeks. But that was the only downside. It was a great performance, and lovely to hear people talking about us, if you like, being on an equal with Brighton, who've obviously, built up to where they are. They've got the model, they've got a style of playing. They've been a great team, a great club the last few years. So for us again to be there, matching them on their own patch, I think it's brilliant. And going into Christmas in 6th, I mean, wow, never seen that coming.
Yeah, I'll come to you just now, Lee. Taffy Mackham saying Brighton and Bournemouth are two teams we're looking to emulate. You want in there, Lee?
Yeah, no, on Gary's point about looking a bit tired, I agree. But the thing is, I don't think Lebris is going to bring any players in. Like, I can't see Dan Neil coming in. I can't see Leo Hjelde coming in. Mayenda. I just think we've known Lebris now for a year and a half. And last season he was exactly the same in the Championship, that he's got his core group of players that he trusts and he'll bring them on, and then the others are just there to sit on the bench. And I think that's the kind of the role that Dan Neil, Hjelde, and who else? I mean, other players, Mayenda, for example. I think that's just possibly the way where they're at the minute, where they stand. I don't think there's much more to it than that. I just think that he's had chances to bring Dan Neil on, but he hasn't. He's had chances to bring Mayenda on, he hasn't. I mean, there must be something that he sees in training that they don't fit his plans, and it's hard to argue with that, given that we're 6th in the Premier League.
Just very quickly back to the chat before I come to you, Terry. Thane Chester says he would love us to go for Manu from Man United. He's out of favour, maybe on loan. Need a right winger to plug the gaps. He loves Rig, but physically he can't do it yet. Terry, would you have taken a draw before kick-off?
Yeah, and I've got some different points to the lads, but I predicted a 1-1 draw. I didn't realise Danny Welbeck wouldn't be playing yesterday, Danny Welbeck, because I'm pleased he didn't, because I think he would have been dangerous to that team. We've lost, like I say, we've lost players to AFCON. I think if we had a fully strength squad, AFCON wasn't on, I think we would have won that game yesterday. So I think having a point with players coming in like Rig, Gertrude and Dingre, them 3 players will take a couple of games to get up to speed to be able to last 90 minutes. And I think that's where we suffered, as when Brighton had a stronger bench to change the game at 65 minutes. We didn't. We brought on players that sort of Diarra was nowhere near the pace yesterday, but he was brought on rather than Mayenda for more of a defensive role, I think. I think when Diarra goes to AFCON, Mayenda will get some time against Leeds. I think he'll come on the right when Rig tires against Leeds, and he'll get more time. So I think when Gertrude gets up to fully speed of game fitness, he'll last 90 minutes, and we'll see a better, stronger midfield than we did yesterday. I thought first 65 minutes, I thought we were the better side. I thought we were on the offensive. We created the better chances. And I just feel, for me, all those 5 players going to AFCON hasn't really sort of weakened the team as much, but it's weakened the bench, so we can't really bring on players to improve the squad, hence where we sort of faltered a little bit after 65 minutes. But I think Rig, Dingre and Gertrude will be a lot better for the Leeds game.
Right, okay. I've lost my train of thought. Oh, that was it. Taffy Mackham, as per usual, speaking loads of sense, the most sensible person we have watching. He says, arrest! They're only playing league games once a week.
No, we're not the next couple of weeks, are we? We've got 4 games in, what is it? Just over 2, just over a week.
It's Christmas, though.
I think they've got a good week off now, haven't they? They've got no game until Sunday now, so they've got a good week's rest to recuperate and recover. And I think
then it's what, Sunday, Thursday, Sunday, Wednesday, I think.
Yeah, I think he will go into the January window and bring another player, 1 or 2 players in. I think we'll do our business early again as well.
Right, okay. Just very quickly, we do like to get to 100 likes if we can on a Sunday night. So all you got to do is hit the thumbs up. Do us a favor, do that. Take your second to do that. And that'll help our little channel. Let's get it to 100 if we can. Also, if you are watching and you're not subscribed to the channel, hit the subscribe button. Free to do so. And that helps the channel also. When you saw the team, then were you happy with the team and the formation and all that, Gary? When you saw it, was you happy with the lineup?
Yeah, and I don't suppose he had too many options really. I think probably the question mark for me is around Rigg, because we're obviously trying to give him game time, and I understand why, but physically and maybe he's in one or two other ways, I'm not sure A, what his best position is. And B, whether he's actually up to Premier League speed yet. But otherwise, yeah, I think it was to be expected. Robbie, I think, is better away from home. So I think he holds the ball up, takes a bit of pressure off, and he's got a lovely touch. So I've been quite impressed with him. But I also thought it was the right thing to bring on Isidore when we did. Not sure we used him, but so yeah, no surprises there. A couple of people on the bench, as we've said. We're obviously a bit thin on the ground in reinforcements. So you've got Harrison Jones in there, and like I say, Leo Hjelde. I don't think anybody really expected him to come on unless we were quite desperate. But yeah, it was pretty much as expected. But yeah, these next few games, we'll have to see how we go. Really.
People saying about. I mean, we will get onto Afcon shortly to. Have a talk about that. Thane Chester says Neil looks like he's not being considered. We picked Gertruda, a defender, when Neil is our main centre mid. I think he's gone now. Dinger had a really good game. I thought he had a good game as well. Richard Wade says, yep, Neil going. Jim Buck says Neil off to Coventry in January. Terry, when you saw the team come out, were you happy with that?
Yeah, I mean, there's not much else we can do, really. I think at some point, I think Mundell might get a start going forward, but I think that's about as good as it gets at the moment. I do think the likes of, obviously, Neil won't get any game time. I think we'll be looking for another central midfielder in the January window and a right wing. I think they're the two positions. I can't see Mienda going out on loan unless we get another striker in, because if we get one of the other two strikers injured, then that's when Mienda will be playing every game and doing what one of the other two strikers is doing. But I think I'll be tempted to give Mienda a bit of game time on the right wing at some point as a right wing sort of forward. But I think the players, if we can keep the defensive line yesterday, I thought the defensive line was fantastic. I thought Alderete and Ballard were absolutely awesome in defence, and they complement each other so well. They're so very tight knit, and got Roofs just behind. And I think the pair of them. They played 5 games together in defence now. They sort of know exactly where each other are. They know how to clear the lines. They're just totally in control of that defence. And I think those two are the main ones we need to keep fit. We can't afford to lose any of those, because the likes of Hjelde and them, for me, won't be good enough for the Premier League, in my opinion. So we've got to make sure we keep Ballard and Alderete fit. And I thought Hume and Mukiele is just brilliant as well, isn't he? Let's face it, another good game yesterday. And Hume shifted over to the left-hand side. I thought he did well as well. So I think, that lineup, there wasn't going to be anybody else coming in to start for me. So that I predicted that lineup. I thought that's what would start. Because Gertrude is basically doing a Siddiqui role, I would have thought.
Right, okay. Just very quickly, before I come to you, Lee, on the chat, a few people, Dan Wilkes saying, Neil 09 and a few others need to go. Richard Waite saying 09 going nowhere. Our very own Emma says Neil, Pato and Sirkin away in January, in her opinion. The formation, when you saw the team come out, Lee, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think we had to replace 4 players, didn't we? Talbi, Traore, Renildo and Siddiqui. And I think starting with Renildo, you've got Sirkin, who's just come back from injury. Hasn't played for a long time. Probably isn't match fit, so wouldn't go with him. Then obviously the most obvious is Trey Hume on his wrong foot, but he played well. Traore had a very, very good game. Looked very composed. Looked like a natural, actually. I mean, even Labrisa said today, I think it was yesterday, that he doesn't know which is his best position now. he might say he's a right back or a right centre back, but he could actually fill in more in centre midfield. And then as for the wingers, I mean, if you notice our wingers, Lebris doesn't like to play with two out-and-out direct wingers. He'll always have one direct winger, and he might have like a kind of a midfielder, wide midfielder, who's technically good on the ball and very good at ball retention, which is what we see from Traore. Traore's not going to run at players and beat players like a Patrick Roberts. But what he'll do is that he'll receive the ball, he'll be able to hold it up, he uses it well, and he creates chances. On the other side, Talby's a bit of the same. He can run a bit, but he's also very good technically on the ball. He controls it, he holds it up well, brings the players into play. Yesterday, that's why we saw Rig wide right, because Rig technically is a very good player, although he's a centre midfielder. But he's not a right midfielder. But the thing is that he'll track up and he'll get up and down the pitch. Adingra, on the other hand, is an out-and-out winger. And yesterday, but we saw that basically it was get the ball to Adingra, which we did plenty of times. He got up the pitch, but because our fullbacks don't really trust him to get back, they don't want to kind of overcommit because we get caught out on the counter-attack. So I think Adingra had a very good game, but I think he lacked the support. If he'd have had a bit more support, because every time he got the ball, he drove up the pitch 20, 30 yards, got into good positions, but he was surrounded by 2 or 3 players, and he ended up either losing it or putting a poor cross, which is not his fault because he was getting the ball time and time again, and he wasn't afraid to run at them. But he just lacked that support. But I think that's just Lebris' way of playing, that he likes to have that control on the wings where he'll play one technical winger or wide player and then he'll play an out-and-out winger. So that's why I can't see Mayenda and Mundle or Mayenda and Adingra playing at the same time. I think he's always going to have one or the other.
Right, Terry, you want in there?
Yeah, I think that's where we need the likes of Liffey and Robbie really sort of breaking their neck to get up there with Adingra for some support and giving them options in the box as well, because only having one person in the box doesn't really give it Adingra much chance to get a good cross in. But yeah, I mean, I actually think I do like Mayenda, and I think he'll get his chance against Leeds probably the last 30 minutes, and love to see the lad come on and score a goal or something.
Right, okay. Just very quickly on the chat, one way ticket Dave says he thought Xhaka pulled out of passing to Riggy a couple of times when he was in space, so he didn't have confidence passing to him. Did anybody else notice that? I didn't see it myself, but possibly, I don't know. Diarra came on when I was at the Everton game. We went corporate, and Diarra was one of the people they brought on stage at the end to have a chat with. And they was asking him when he would be due back. And he'd said for the Mags game, which, of course, big cheer went up. Obviously, he didn't make it there. He came on. Are we saying, was he just not fit? I mean, because he wasn't very good when he came on. Terry?
Yeah, basically, he only stayed here for this game before he goes to AFCON just to get some minutes because he had no minutes. So I think it was the option to bring on Diarra rather than bring on Mayenda because of his ability to track back and defend. But he wasn't really up to speed at the moment. I think it's going to take him. Obviously, he's been out for 12 matches. He's been out a long time anyway with the groin strain. So that'll take him. The AFCON might do Diarra the world. They're going to get him fit for when he comes back to Sunderland, hopefully, touch wood.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Your thoughts on Diarra, Lee?
Yeah, same as Terry. I think he didn't look fit and he was playing at right midfield. And again, Lebris' style of play doesn't want to have 2 out-and-out wingers on the wings. He wanted that extra player on the right, that technical player. Diarra didn't really fit that role, but he was the only option we had on the bench. So yeah, he didn't look fit. I mean, there were a couple of times where he wasn't even tracking back, he wasn't even sprinting back. But he was a player. He's our player at the end of the day. He needs minutes. He needs to come back. And I agree. He's probably better off going with Senegal and AFCON to get minutes there because he probably will play for them than getting his minutes with us sitting on the bench or playing and not making an impact. Yeah,
maybe I've just overlooked the whole thing. But I mean, all this time we've been doing so well, I've been thinking, and Diarra's not even playing because he's a great player. So I'm thinking, we've got Diarra to bring on, and then totally dismissing the fact that he's been out injured. Gary, your thoughts on Diarra when he came in?
I'm I actually thought he did track back, and I thought he played more defensively than I've seen him before. I mean, I dare say there'll be points which you lads have seen him not doing that, but he was probably more defensive than I expected. I don't know the full story, but I've had a few people, from Senegal, not having a go at the club, but questioning what's gone on. Because if you remember, initially he was left out of the squad, wasn't he? He wasn't in the original Senegal squad, and then they brought him in, and everybody else has gone off. He's stopped back, so I'm wondering if he had to prove his fitness. That was why he was in the squad, and maybe there was some agreement that he was going to get some minutes to prove his fitness, to prove he was up to playing a Premier League game before he goes off. I'm just second guessing there. I don't really know, but we need to, as you said, we need to get him back to fitness. So bring him on. But I mean, he didn't contribute a great deal, albeit at that stage of the game, it was more about playing out for the point.
Right. Okay. I know it's probably naughty of me, but I've missed a lot of stuff over the week. And SG is saying some people seem to think we brought on the rules with Diarra. Richard Waite says only if Diarra started would rules have been broken. Can somebody throw some light on this for me? Any of you, Lee?
Well, I mean, Labrie said in the press conference, I think he said that Diarra would be with us until Monday. I think he'd fly off on Monday, because that will be when he finishes off his rehabilitation period. Whether that's internal or our internal protocol or it's an agreement with Senegal, I don't know. But he did say that he wouldn't be starting. I think he said that he'd be on the bench. So yeah, it's a bit of a mystery, isn't it? But
I think Senegal did give us permission to play him, like to obviously they give him some game time because it benefits them from to have some minutes on the pitch rather than going over there with no minutes at all.
I'm second guessing here, but I presume behind the scenes, because he's had a long injury, we could, or our doctors could say he's not fit enough to go. So I dare say there's been a little bit of an agreement in terms of, well, if he can prove his fitness, then he can go. And this, yes, like Lee said about the rehab period, there probably comes some kind of agreement. I don't know that, but hopefully it suits all concerned. Like we've said, we see him get game time, and hopefully when he does come back, he comes back fitter and ready to go straight back into it.
Yeah, it's fair play. I mean, he can go away and hopefully come back fit and raring to go. Right, okay. Just very quickly, we've got to give a mention to our channel sponsors, who are Wolf Competitions. That is wolfcompetitions.co.uk. If you've not been on the website, get yourself on there. There is a link in the description if you want to visit the site and have a look. We were out and about. It was the week leading up to when we played the Visitors, actually. And I went into Sunderland Town Centre. And, this happened. He's rubbish. All you got to do, because it's Derby Day week, all right, 5 KBLBs, 25 quid, all yours, and a chance to double a quid, all right? So when you're ready, all right, Daniel, here we go, all right. Anything you want, apart from your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh! He's rubbish. Score prediction for Sunday.
3-0.
2.
The lads.
To the lads. 3-0 to the lads. Confident. Everybody's confident. That's what we like. Right. What you like at football?
Shit.
Well, you're not going to win much money then, are you? Right. I'm going to give you a chance, though. I'm going to give you a chance to win 25 quid. All you got to do, 5 KBOBs. What do you think? Did you not do PE at school? Obviously not. All right. But did you do music? What was your favourite instrument? The dinner bell. The dinner bell. Yes. Yes. The dinner bell. 5 KBOBs. 5 KBOBs. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh! Come in here. What's your name?
Nadia.
Right, Nadia. Nadia, are you sporty?
Yes.
Are you? Oh, I've got just the game for you then. Sunderland are playing Newcastle on Saturday. Yeah. What's the score going to be?
2-1.
2?
2-1.
2-1. 2 to Sunderland. 2-1 to Sunderland. Do you think you can do 5 KBOBs?
Well, we'll see, yeah.
Yeah, right. If you can do 5, I'm going to give you 25 quid. And a chance to double the quits if you want, all right? So Nadia's going for it. I'm confident. You look sporty. You look like Sporty Spice. Tell me what you want, what you really, really want. Right, take the ball. 5 KBOBs. Any part of your body apart from your hands. All right, 5. Come on, you can do this. Oh, 25 quid. Go on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah! Yeah! All right, show off. All right. Oh, hey. Oh, she's a professional. Right, Nadia, you've won 25 quid. Do you want to keep the 25 quid or do you want to go double a quid?
I'll take the 25.
She's going to take the 25. High five. You're good. You're very good. So there you go. That's Wolf competition. Loads of people win. Was in Sunderland giving money away. I've been giving tellies away and all sorts this week. So check it out. wolfcompetitions.co.uk. There's a link in the description. Get yourself on and win some cash and prizes and all that. Right then, we're 65 minutes. We were pretty good, and then I mean. They were there for the taking, I thought, Brighton. You know, are we saying we got tired? Did we sit back or I mean, I think if it wasn't for their poor finishing, we would have probably lost that game, Terry.
I think it was the fact that they had a stronger bench to come on and push us back and take the game at us. I think our three players that started, Rig, Hatruda and Dingra, they got tired, yes, but I think the rest of the team weren't tired. But the players that come on, they made more impact than our players that came on. So you have to give credit sometimes to the opposition. Brighton were at home. They took it at us, and them alongside us are a better second half team. Brighton have scored more goals in the second half, are a stronger second half team. So that's what they did. They rose their game, made some good substitutions. We had to sit back and defend, and that's what we did, and we defended really well.
Yeah, I mean, their finishing was atrocious. Gary, I mean, were they there for the taking? I mean, well, you know, how come on 65 minutes it all changed?
I think Terry makes a good point in terms of, well, two good points. Their stats say they do finish well. They do come on strong in the second half. And yeah, the changes they made, they're bringing on established Premier League players, and we've got to take that into account. Where I disagree with Terry is the bit about the other lads not tiring. I think both Lafay and Ballard got booked because they made what I thought were tired challenges. I think Ballard's okay. It wasn't a great first touch, but again, it looked to me like quite a few of them towards the end of the game were struggling to get around the pitch. And I'm just, basing that on TV pictures and whatever. I could be wrong. Maybe that's a misinterpretation, but I just got that impression. And the other thing that I think is a bit telling in that regard is when we start aiming or just kicking the ball out quite aimlessly towards the end. And we did it against the Mags as well. And we're putting pressure on ourselves. And I find that really frustrating. We've done it a few times. Is that all of a sudden the energy levels go down and we start sitting further back. I mean, we did that a little bit last season as well under Labrie, so maybe it's not coincidence. We've brought Isidore on because he's got the pace, but we're giving him nothing to feed off because the balls are they're going into touch or they're up in the air. And I just thought there was a few tired challenges towards the end. So I think Terry makes a good point in terms of their changes. And again, we haven't got the personnel to do anything similar. So maybe it's no surprise the way it turned. To go back to your point, Philly, I think they were for the taking. Certainly in the first half, we should be disappointed we didn't create more clear-cut chances because we had possession. I thought we controlled the game. We looked very, very good. And when we're talking about people coming in January, I think we do have to look at a striker because as much as I like both Bobby and Isidore, I think we need something different. And, we're going into the January transfer window as a top 10 Premier League team. So I'm hoping from what KLD said before, we can take advantage.
Yeah, I'll come to you, Terry, then I'll come to Lee. Yeah, I mean, it's that thing, what we said at the start, I'd have taken a draw all day, but then the way we started, I was disappointed at the end that it was a draw, and it's a good thing that we was, like you said, it was the same with Liverpool, exactly the same. And it's a testament to how far we've actually come. Terry, and then I'll come to you, Lee.
Yeah, I mean, I thought we should have went in front, of course, but I mean, when we had our backs against the wall last 25 minutes to come out, I was ready for the whistle to go then for that point because I think the game continued. They might have scored. Bringing in another striker, where we play our football with the low block, and it's all sort of, we concentrate around defensiveness, really. I don't think, I mean, unless you've got a top quality striker, you're going to pay a lot of million for them. A striker coming in still won't get any service, like our strikers don't get much service now because he's still got the same sort of setup and the same ability of getting the ball forward. So, yeah, I mean, we're going to have to break the bank to get a proper good quality striker in, but then we've got to also give him the service as well. But I don't think we're going to change. I think for the first season, we're going to stick with the way we play now. We're going to have that real strong defensive-minded setup and grind out results. I think that's what. I mean, we're in let's face it, we're in sixth place. Done us no harm so far. We've been brilliant this season so far, and I don't mind the way we're playing at the moment. I don't mind doing what we're doing. We're getting the points. We're grinding out the results, and by Christmas to be in sixth place, I mean, we're almost halfway through the season. It's going to take us another real good knock to get us through the rest of the season, staying in sixth place. But by gum, they've done brilliant so far.
Right, I'll come to you, Lee, about what Brighton there for the thing. I'll chuck in. My next question was about, do we need a striker anyway? So you might as well chuck that in as well, because you do look at our goal difference and stuff like that as well. And though we're brilliant at the back, and and we're very good. Just if we scored the odd goal here and there, those draws become 3 points and things like that. And we would have been, we would have been right in the thick of it. And I'm not knocking us being in sixth place.
You have to look at the game yesterday. How many clear-cut chances, apart from possibly Alderetti's header, did we actually create?
The Mundle shot.
A Mundle shot, but what's the striker going to do in that position? He's still not going to be in that position. The striker's going to be further forward. So Mundle's still going to shoot from outside the penalty box. There's no really we're going to have to change the way we play football to get more sort of ammunition to a striker.
Well, maybe we need a striker that'll come back in the midfield and do bits and then take it himself if he's not, but anyway, on to you, Lee. Sorry, 65 minutes would be great, and then all of a sudden it seemed to be a bit of a struggle for us. Thoughts on that? And we'll chuck in a new striker. Do we need a new striker?
Right, so I thought for the first 55 minutes we were good. We came out after the second half as well and we started well, but I think it started to turn a little bit after 55 minutes. Brighton started to get a couple of chances, and that's when Lebris decided to discuss the substitutions. It was evident that Idingu wasn't being as effective. He was losing the ball a bit. Rig was looking quite tired. And those are two players that basically haven't played much football, so I think he had to make subs. Who does he bring on? He brings on Mundle and Habib Diarra, who have just come back from injury as well. So they haven't got much game time either. So they're still building up their match fitness. I just think that naturally Brighton, with the home advantage and their subs, came back into the game. They brought on Matoma, who caused us problems on the left. He had a couple of runs at Mukiele. It was 50-50 because Mukiele got the better from sometimes, but Matoma did as well. I just think that we didn't score in that 55 minutes period. And I think Lebris said, listen, we've got players that probably can't last the full 90. We need to make changes. They are starting to come back into the game. Ayari had about 5 chances for them. Basically blazed about 3 of them over the bar and got 1 on target. So I think as the game went on, I think we did need to make changes. And I think it was becoming less and less likely of us getting a winner from being better than them, or possibly hanging in there and getting a goal from a corner or a set piece. So I think Lebris did the right thing. And then even Brobby had a very good game in the first half. He looks much fitter. He looks faster. There was plenty of times when we just humped up long balls that were bouncing, and he was just able to hold off the defender very easily. And he actually created one chance where he took it around the keeper and he tried to shoot. But again, he's not ready to play 90 minutes yet, and I think he can only last 65, 70 minutes. And as Gary said before with Isidore's a different player. We can't play down the middle to Isidore. We're going to play down the channels. And we didn't do that. As he said, we need to put balls out of touch. So as for the striker, do we need a new striker? I mean, Isidore hasn't scored for a while. Brobby scored 2 against Arsenal and Bournemouth. But the question is, is Lebris really playing to their strengths? Or is he just happy to have them as team players and then get the goals from around elsewhere on the pitch? And I think Lebris would rather have that structure rather than basing his play around one forward.
Gary, you want in there?
Yeah, just a quick one. I was the one who sort of I'm talking about, do we need a striker? And if we do lose Mayenda out on loan, I'm kind of thinking it gives us a third option where he's not using Mayenda currently. Might be a number 10 that we need. I think Lafay has been playing that role generally since Aaron has been out, and I think Lafay's come on leaps and bounds, by the way, because I think he's scrapping for everything. He's looking like a real Premier League midfield to me, like he's got all the attributes. But I thought yesterday he dropped deep more often. So the thing about Brobby is, it's all right, Brobby using his strength to hold the ball up and bring people in, but he's not really getting the support from the flanks or from a number 10 yesterday. And so that's maybe one of our limitations that we need to think about, is whether there's something else we can do to play off Brobby, and be a bit more of an attacking threat.
Do you not think that Lafay, I think he's had 3 games as number 10 now, is starting to get into that role and will probably get improving and get better as more game time in that position?
I do, yeah. I think more of it obviously will do us good, but he's. I think there's also times when we seem to want something different from him. His tackling, he's getting around the pitch has been absolutely brilliant, I think, from about September onwards. But there are times I'd prefer to see him kind of on the ball and a little bit further forward. It's all very well him scrapping when he's deep, but he's got a shot on him. He's certainly got the skill on him. He can bend them. I'd like to see he's just taking a few more chances rather than always trying to get the ball into solid 6-yard area. I think we're going to have more to our attacking game.
It's a fair point, Gary. Number 10, maybe that could be the answer. I know. See, I'm a big fan of Isidore, and I still like him over Brobby. I don't know if it's because Brobby's game is. He's brilliant to holding up and stuff like that, but I just feel like Isidore's the one who's going to run through and do something, something magical. But
do you not think that when like Brobby starts to get fully fit and can last longer, Isidore could come on as a left winger over Odinga at times, and maybe have them both on the pitch at the same time?
Well, when he was bought, we said on this show, because is he a left winger? Is he a striker? Because he can play both. Lee.
No, it's a good point. This is on the left wing. I saw him against Huddersfield in the League Cup. We lost that game on penalties, and it was Huddersfield. But I thought that Isidore wanted the ball quite a lot, and his first thought was running at the defenders. And when you got a fast, tall winger running at you, defenders shit themselves. So I think he could be a good option on the left wing. But at the minute, I think possibly we do need another striker, because we are lacking goals in that area, and it looks like Mayenda's been cast aside for the minute.
Exciting to see them both on together. I think that.
But also you're saying Mundle will probably, he's been injured for a while. He'll probably get back and be fitter with game time. He'll probably improve as well. Maybe see a better Mundle as the Leeds and the Man City game comes up.
Right. Just very quickly, 50 people have given us a like. We're just trying to get that to 100 if we can. We like to on a Sunday. Just hit the thumbs up, please. That'll help us. And don't forget, subscribe if you haven't already done so. Free to subscribe. African nations, right? 6 players. Is it 6 we've got away? I think it is. How are we going to manage? The hierarchy have said that they knew this was coming, all along. So, they must, have confidence in what they've got or what they're doing. How do you think it's going to affect us, Gary?
Initially, I thought it's not going to affect us that much in terms of who was playing earlier on in the season. My really big worry was losing Siddiqui, because I'm, his biggest fan. I think he's just absolutely brilliant. Love watching Siddiqui. And we talk about players getting tired. That lad never seems to get tired. So that was my big worry, losing Siddiqui. But I thought Gertrudis did such a good job. It wasn't evident. So that's the good news. The bad news, I think Traore's been improving week in, week out. We've lost him. Talby the same. I think that's a disappointment. And it does stretches at the back, losing Ronaldo, even if Hume crosses over. So it's probably a bigger impact than maybe Zad anticipated. Having said that, and I don't really follow African football closely, but people are saying Ronaldo's with Mozambique and they're likely to go out early, so he might be back early. Some of the other lads might be out there a bit longer. But again, to me, it's this number of games in quick succession. It's probably my worry. The next 3-4 games, we've got Everton in the cup, and you would imagine, some of the fringe players will be given a chance there. And I think it's Palace after that. But I'm hoping some of the players will come back again. The other thing I'll say is, on the back of KLD's interview on Sky, I think it was after the Everton game, there was a suggestion that when we go into January, if we're in a good position, he will strengthen the squad. And let's face it, the recruitment team did such a fantastic job during the summer.
Right.
I've got to think, he's going to back them to go out and unearth a couple of gems in January as well. And we also did early business in the summer, so it wouldn't surprise me if we do get a couple of new lads in, hopefully before the Palace game. But that was a long-winded answer. But just to say, yeah, I'm worried about the impact, but it's probably not as bad as I first thought.
Yeah, doing business early in the transfer window. I know it's not always possible, but it infuriates me because you think, why are you waiting all this time? But I know players don't become available until something else happens, and it's sort of a knock-on effect. Lee, think we're going to manage all right with the players away for AFCON?
I think when you've got a leader like Granit Xhaka, you've got someone there who will demand 100% from anyone who comes into the team, and they'll make sure that they keep the same standards as everyone who is missing. But yeah, it is a concern because you could say that 5 of those 6 players that are gone could easily walk into our first 11 right now. You got Reinildo, Sadiki, Diarra, Traore, and Talbi, who's come into it recently as well. So there's an opportunity there for the likes of Dennis Serkin, Dan Neil if he gets game time, which is unlikely, but Mayenda, Mundal, Isidore. You know what I mean? There are opportunities there for them to come in and do it. We have got a squad. Whether those players are up to scratch, I don't know. But I mean, they're not the same quality. So, but I think when you got someone like Granit Xhaka in there and Lebris as well, I think they'll be demanding the same effort, the same commitment. And we saw yesterday that against a good Brighton team, that with 4 first-team players missing from the previous game, that we are able to carry on and keep on going and as if nothing happened. So it's going to have an impact, but the faster they get back, the better.
Yeah, but like I say, I mean, it's not like they didn't know this was coming. So, Terry, do you think it's going to affect us a lot?
Look, at the end of the day, you've got to trust in the recruitment, haven't you? Because let's face it, they've done a fantastic job. I mean, the whole purpose of this first season is to survive, isn't it? And if it means bringing in the talent we brought in, and they do go away in African Cup of Nations, we've got 27 points because of it. So I think, let's face it, we're basically safe already. I think we're going to be safe this season, regardless. So they've done the job. Yes, we're going to struggle at times because the strength in depth isn't going to be as strong as it was. I mean, I'm a massive fan of Sadiki and Reinildo. Those two, me, are the massive misses. I think we'll go in the transfer window, bring in probably another centre midfielder and probably a right winger at some point. I think they would have been doing the work already. The recruitment team would have been out there picking out which players they want to bring in, probably almost just after January the 1st when the window opens. I think we'll have them through the door pretty quick. And I think they'll be prepared for this. So, yeah, it's a matter of just trying to hold the fort down until either we get some of the players back or get 1 or 2 players in. But 2 massive matches coming up. We're probably going to talk about the Leeds game and the Man City game. Our home record's unbeaten so far. If we can stay unbeaten through those 2 games, it'd be absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. Right, just very quickly then, because we are running out of time. A quick man of the match for you against Brighton, Lee.
Oh, that's a difficult one, Philly, because there were several. I mean, Alderete and Ballard were excellent. Mukiele was excellent. But I'm going to go for Enzo Lafay. I thought he was absolutely everywhere. His effort, his energy, it's exactly what we need. And so I think I'm going to go with Enzo.
Yeah, Terry?
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about, Lee was saying about, Gary was saying about players getting tired and that. I mean, Ballard, he's all over the pitch and he's up there he's up there in the penalty box. He had that little snip of a chance early on towards the second end of the first half where he poked the ball and the keeper. Their keeper played really well. You know, he made some good saves. So for me, Alderweireld, Ballard, fantastic. Michele, fantastic. But I'm giving it to Ballard. I think Ballard's just absolutely amazing. Come on, heads, and come on, loads over the last few seasons. He deserves all the accolades he can get, you know.
Yeah, definitely, without a doubt. Gary?
Definitely agree with both the lads that Ballard and Lafay would be up there for me, but maybe it's because I watched the game on the telly yesterday and I wasn't there. I think I saw a bit more of what Xhaka brings to the team. So that's my answer, Xhaka. I just thought yesterday he held it together, and I love to see him telling the lads on the pitch, you know, what to do, whether it's putting up the defensive wall in the second half or he's keeping an eye on players and bringing in. I thought Xhaka yesterday was absolutely exceptional.
Yeah, I mean, like Lee said, there was a few. I mean, I was impressed with the Dingra coming back in, and I just thought I thought he had a great game. But yeah, there was a few. Lafay, definitely. Right, okay, let's quickly move on to Leeds then, which is going to be next Sunday. It's been moved to Sunday, which means Terry is now not allowed to go to the game. You're going to miss it. Terrible. I mean,
I'm devastated, absolutely devastated. We've got a massive party coming up, and it was on the Sunday, and the match was on a Saturday. Everything paid for, and then obviously they're going to move the bloody match to a Sunday. I'm absolutely devastated.
I don't understand why we haven't had a Boxing Day. We always play on Boxing Day. We're either away one, and then we're at home on New Year's Day and stuff like that. I mean, but for some reason, I mean, we're at home on the Boxing Day fixture, what would have been, and we're at home on New Year's Day as well. So
yeah, my ticket won't go to waste though. I'll be getting used by a good friend, so everything's good.
Good friend? You haven't got any friends? Never mind any good ones.
Got to put one here and there now and again.
Right, okay. Leeds United. I mean, we so long as we keep our home record or our unbeaten record, but surely we should be going out to battle Leeds, maybe get a few goals, get our goal difference up. I know they had a good result yesterday, but are you confident for this one, Gary?
No.
Are you not?
No? I hate Leeds. I've got to be honest. You can't live in West Yorkshire. You either hate Leeds or you for Leeds. Everybody else hates Leeds apart from Leeds fans in Yorkshire. And I've always hated them and I don't like them. And I want them to go down. But it worries me the fact that they are in a good run of form. They've beaten Palace convincingly. They've beaten Chelsea convincingly. And they've had draws against Liverpool and Brentford, I think it was. And Leeds, to a degree, are a bit like teams in the North East. When the momentum starts and the fans are up for it, they're a slightly different proposition when they've got a bit of confidence about them. So actually, I'm quite worried that they're going to come up. And you tend to get freak results around Christmas as well. Doesn't necessarily go with the form book. So I'm a bit worried about it. We should have a better team, but I could see it being touch and go. To be honest, I can't see us sort of like maybe he's running away with it like we might have hoped. If you just look at league positions, I think it'll be tighter than that.
But how come? I don't understand how come they've. I mean, because they didn't start very well at all, and then all of a sudden they've come all right. But is it not one of those that they raised their game against, against these bigger teams, your Chelseas and stuff like that, we was always like that. We would play a lot better against the better teams. Well, now they'll probably look at us as not one of those teams, So I don't know how it's come about that they're
Calvert-Lewin's scoring regularly for them.
Yeah.
And their home form has been much better than their away form, which is obviously in our favour. But just one of those banana skins that worries me, and the thought of losing to Leeds again fills me full of woe. So
right,
sorry.
Well, why I'm still on them, we'll chuck this in because I'm running out of time. Give us a score prediction, Gary, for Leeds, Sunderland Leeds.
I'm going to say 2-2.
Oh dear, you'll not be invited back on here again. Lee, score prediction.
I mean, I'm confident, Philly, because Leeds have got the same form as us: two wins and 2 draws and 1 defeat in the last 5. Calvert-Lewin's in good form, but Dan Ballard's played against Isaac. He's played against Voldemar, and he's played against Haaland, and he's kept him quiet. So he can keep this one quiet as well. Home advantage. We'll be ready. We'll be composed. We'll be disciplined. I think we're going to go for a 2-1 win.
I'll take that all day.
And by the way, Philly, if we do win that, and Aston Villa beat Chelsea, we could end up being 5th, because I imagine Leeds will beat Wolves. So wouldn't that be nice going to New Year, 5th place? And as Gary mentioned before, KLD mentioned in his interview, where we'd be in January will determine what we do in the January market. So imagine that, 5th place will be excellent.
Can we not get a 4th? I prefer 4th to 5th, to be honest.
Well,
but,
you're asking Wolves to beat Liverpool at Anfield. I can't see that happening.
all right, of course. Yeah, well,
Chelsea
strange
gotta
things
play
have happened. I mean, Wolves nearly got a draw down at Arsenal, didn't they, last week?
Yeah.
Terry, I'll just take a score prediction from you because I'm well out of time.
I don't like all the cocky attitude going into games and saying we're going to beat these teams easily and all. There's no games easy in the Premier League. I'd take exactly the same result as against Newcastle. You know, Leeds are a decent side. They're playing good football. They're going to raise the game against us, of course. Daniel Farke can fark off, hopefully with no points on Sunday. I'm going to go for 1-0 win. Hard fought, 1-0 win. The right battle. We do exactly like we did against Newcastle. Come away with a 1-0 win. I'll be over the moon.
Right, okay. I'm going to go 2-1 just for a change. And hopefully, to be honest, well, I will be very disappointed with a draw, but I'll be happy to make sure we still have our...
We have a weakened squad, Philly. You know, if we had a full squad, maybe it's fair enough, but we are got some really good players out of AFCON, so...
Yeah, Terry, we're talking Leeds here, man. We're not talking Man City. Like Man City, when we play Man City, I think if we get a point against Man City at home, and I don't like predicting a point at home, but it's Leeds, man. It's just Leeds. It's little Leeds. Little Leeds from West
Yorkshire. Record against Leeds at home, Philly.
Yeah, well, we'll see, don't we? So, look, we've got to go because I've got to go to work. Want to give... once again, a shout out to Wolf Competitions, our channel sponsor. Thanks very much to them. They are very much keeping us alive this season. Terry, would you just like to say bye to everybody?
Hi, goodbye, everybody. Have a nice Christmas and a fantastic Boxing Day as well.
There you go then. Lee, just say bye to everybody. I'll tell you what, do it in Spanish for us.
En Spanish, bueno, feliz Navidad a todos, pasad buena época y nos vemos en la próxima capítulo. How are the lads?
Yeah, I second that, whatever he said. All right, Gary, just say bye to everybody, would you?
Goodbye to everybody, will you?
There you go. Listen, have a great Christmas. Enjoy your prezzies. Eat loads of turkey, stuff like that. We'll see you next Sunday after the Leeds game. Have a good time, and we'll see you soon. Don't forget, if you're a member of the channel, watch your name in the credits at the end. Goodbye.